But what would possess a man to put frosting on his butt? Can any of us truly claim to understand the heart of darkness? Welcome back, my computer duders. I think everything I need to start expanding. I'm not going to expand in a small way, having gone to all this trouble. I'm going to immediately build a giant dome and make it a nature dome, although I still have no way to get grass, but I'm really tired of having to go to land for wood. That's the number one thing that fucking holds me back. And I only have that little dinky ass tree dome at the old base, so I'm going to build a giant tree dome first. After I do a little bit of landscaping, because this is going to bother me otherwise. Are you serious? So I was having an interesting conversation about underwater structures on Reddit, and a lot of people don't really understand how simple their life support is. They think it works like a submersible or a rebreather. It's not even close to that complicated. In most cases, it's literally just an air compressor that sends fresh air down from the surface fast enough that it overfills, and CO2 is heavier than air, so it gets flushed out and the fresh air stays. And it just constantly replenishes faster than you can foul it up by breathing. Same way a diving helmet works. Basically, it's just a big diving helmet, which is in turn just a big diving bell. Okay, this looks really stupid, but it's better than what I had before, where the moon pool was halfway covered up. It doesn't really feel authentic, given that this is no longer the natural landscape. Oh, that's exactly the amount I needed. Wow. Wow. I love that you can see the surface of the water now. You can't really see it on YouTube. It's really faint, even in the headset. But you can see in the distance where the water meets the edge of the rendered area. I think I'm expanding this way, right? May as well go up there and collect all that seaweed and start smelting it so I can eat it, because I'm going to run out of the stored food I have here really fast. That's really cool that now there's a food source that I can get in the water without having to go to the surface. And we're so fucking deep the kelp doesn't even reach more than slightly halfway to the surface. Or maybe exactly halfway. That's really fucking cool. You can't see my nipples right now, but they're like pencil erasers. That's how fucking stoked I am. Maybe you think I'm a little bit too focused on my own nipples, but really, you're the fool for not paying close attention to your own. They're a important part of monitoring your health as a man. Wow, it's a long way down. Wow. Awesome. This is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted. I can't get under from this side. Well, that's okay. That's where I'm expanding to anyway. Or this side, also where I'm expanding to. Whatever. I don't care. I love how I can break glass in an underwater dome and there's really no consequences. Water is so fucking forgiving and understanding in this game. It's like, I'll give him a second. I'm going to stay out for a second, see where this goes. I'm going to build this one too, since I'm going to eventually expand this way as well. I don't know for sure I'm going to expand this way. I think so. If not, I can always replace these with glass later. Oh, I don't have a door. I have to go back for a door. Well, you know what I've been watching lately? Is a Kill la Kill. I know, so fresh and topical, right? I'm only like a century behind everybody else. That's so fucking badass. I don't know what I expected from the people who made Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, but wow. It's like they did a better job than anybody else ever has at mecha anime, and then they were like, everybody else is doing superhero anime. Let's put all that to shame and completely outdo everybody on at that as well. And they did. I don't know how many times Japan is going to reinvent the concept of superheroes, because they keep making like such academy, which is just like Hogwarts for superheroes. Oh, it's always a high school where everybody has special powers, and the special powers work differently in each of the animes. Like in JoJo, it's a stand. In Kill la Kill, it's clothing based. I've seen some where it's based on weapons that turn into girls, and vice versa. It's getting stupid, but Kill la Kill gets a pass from me. It's so fucking deep. I love it. Oh, it's so deep. It sounds like porn dialogue. It still can be. Donate to my Patreon. It's just gonna fucking collect all this. It's really cheap and easy as a food source. It's a little bit annoying that you have to eat so much of it to fill up your life bar, but it grows everywhere. This really is making me feel vindicated. There's an actual reason to build underwater in this game now. Coral, dolphins, fish, which are an easy source of bones, easy-ish, and kelp as a food source. It's really cool. It's so catchy. Ba 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 na ba bum 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 ba na ba. And again, Tengen Toppa had fucking awesome music as well. There's still some glass. I'm gonna need more dirt than that. What else did I come here for? I forgot. I need this at some point. I bring that. I could. Oh, wood, of course. I needed wood. And I'll take these with me since I now have some place to put them. I think that's everything. This, although maybe you thought this was impressive, but it's dog shit. It's nothing. Like, this is a smaller than usual dome for me. When you see the regular sized domes, you're gonna be like, whoa, that's huge. And that, in turn, is nothing compared to Megadome, which was the biggest dome I've ever built in survival, which was on my Nautilus colony, which was large enough to simulate a natural landscape inside with like 2 different ponds and trees and grass and everything. And I covered all the glowstone with green carpet so it blended in. It was fucking dope. And I feel like I have to work like fucking, it's like a job. It's like a full-time job just to get back to where I was, basically. But it's gonna be worth it, because this is the new ocean. This is the ocean that doesn't suck, that actually has stuff in it. So it's gonna be worth it to build up my colony again, having done so like 8 times now. Because this game is not a really good game for carrying over old builds, because they keep adding features that require a new map. I may demolish that island at some point, just so to have more ocean around me instead of having landmass so close. So yeah, anybody can build an underwater habitat. I'm not going to say it's not expensive, but it's not like going to space or anything. But there's a kind of a hard limit on how big it can be, because I've talked about this in the past. I hate it, but the bigger you make an underwater structure, the more expensive it gets, like exponentially. The ones I see on YouTube are people who do DIY videos and like, wow, look how wacky we are for doing something so dangerous. And they usually make a suspended underwater bubble of air that's held down by, it's like a vinyl sheet that's held down by netting, and even that has like multiple tons of buoyancy depending on how large it is. So they have to weld a metal retainer ring to hold down the rim. Did I bring any stone? I brought no. Yes, I did. I have to weld a retainer ring to hold down the netting, and the netting has to be nylon in order to be strong enough. Huh. There we go. I may just put these up here and here like I did last time, at some point. I'm gonna need some glass too. I don't just need food. I have become a humble kelp farmer of the continental shelf. Wouldn't my parents be proud? I'm gonna keep that. Oh, I don't need that. I've got fish. Probably don't need an axe underwater. Probably don't need this for a while. I need this. Don't need that for a while. Safekeeping. Okay. And I brought wood so I can make a door. Now I remember. That's why I went back to the original base in the first place. Kill la Kill is fucking amazing and well written, but at the same time, it's kind of, there's so much fan service. Even a shameless person like me is like, those are high school girls, dude. I don't know. I guess it's fucking Japan, and they have a different attitude about that. And they're just perverts. Why do Japanese women put up with Japanese men? Do they know that there's other men? I mean, not myself, God. If I could satisfy a woman, I wouldn't be on here. I mean, I've said too much. Let me fucking... Do I have... Yes, I do have them. Okay. I may have to do some excavation. Because there's... Oh, shit. Are you... Could you leave me alone for 5 fucking seconds? God damn it. God damn it. I'm pretty hard on myself, and not really for any good reason. I've had some really good looking girlfriends. I don't know why. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm fairly fit. People say I'm funny, although I don't know if they're just humoring me. But I look back at it sometimes and I think, is this just because I'm superficial and waited until I could find somebody from the small subset of women that value things other than looks? Or is this something I can replicate? Because it took me like years to meet those women. Like, nobody can objectively evaluate their own appeal, but I think I'm pretty average. Except in terms of like humor and other things that women apparently like. That must have evolved for a reason. Humor must have evolved because women found it appealing. Otherwise, what's the point? Shaboopy. There we go. Then again, by that logic, clowns should be considered the sexiest thing. And I'm pretty sure they're not. By anybody but me. Oh, yeah. The best is when they put those honking red clown noses on their nipples. And you get to honk them. It's all of my lewd dreams coming true at once. See, this is why I build up on stilts. So that most of the time I don't have to dig anything out because there's some variation in the terrain that's tolerated by how I build. And I don't... But this time, it's not working out that way. Wait a minute, do I really need full blocks? Do I really need full blocks? Let me try something. Nope. Nope. It keeps switching. Let me try the half blocks. Because that way I can do more with less. Yes, I can. Ha ha ha. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. They should hire me to do the soundtrack. Like, instead of orchestral music, it's just some dude like burr, 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 no, 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 no. In the credits, like, they specifically list him as a Bernaner guy. He did such amazing Bernaners. We should hire him to do our fucking soundtrack. I can do lightsaber noises too. I can do bomb ass lightsaber noises. I know it work for sandwiches. That you can't beat that. You can't beat those rates. Let me try to make more half slabs. This is gonna save me a lot of materials. Half-assing it like this. Cutting corners is awesome. That's the way construction should be done. I'm dying. I don't even smoke, is the thing. People tell me I'm a pussy for complaining about how hot it is. Or how cold it is in winter. Just because Oregon has a famously mild climate. Okay, so this is not going to be as good as I thought, because you're going to be able to see dirt here, but I guess I can tolerate that. It's really... Man, the amount of time it takes the bulbometer to fill back up really adds up quickly. So you do 5 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1. Instead of just the 5, 2, 1 that I did before. And I had to do 5 in order to have wide enough sides to the dome for these 3 wide entrances. But I don't have to do that here. Hang on. Did I do that right? I don't think I did that right. I think I'm getting confused. It really adds up quickly. What am I doing with my life? Not a lot. I don't travel. And they say you're supposed to travel. You're supposed to buy experiences, not things. But I love things. I love specifically machines. I love having sophisticated, advanced machines before everybody else has them. That's where I get pleasure from. If that makes me a sad person, then so be it. So be it. I shouldn't turn them all into half slabs because I still need some for the rim. Still have to do the rim job, you might say. I mean, nobody would say that, but you could. I'm gonna need more stone pretty soon because I turned way too much of it into half slabs. 1, 2, 3. No, 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 no. I catch myself making that sound, singing that song, that tune, I guess, melody from the OST when I'm working out. It's fucking, it gets you pumped. Gets you pumped. See how big this dome's gonna be? Do you have any idea? Look at the circumference. Circumference. Oh, that sounds naughty. I don't know about this. That sounds naughty. Now I can dig this part out. It was premature before. That was the problem. Premature. Everything's a giggity today. What's going on with me? So I noticed while watching pirated episodes of Family Guy on YouTube, which shamefully get like millions of views. Like, what the fuck? YouTube demonetizes everybody else just because they don't make millions of dollars, and yet they let these pirators continue to post. Anyways, I noticed that all the characters in Family Guy and basically every other show that guy does are just vehicles for the different kinds of jokes he can do. Like Quagmire is there to do the sex jokes. Peter's there to do the crude fart humor jokes. Joe is there to do the disabled jokes. Like every kind of joke he knows how to do, he just built a character around in order to cause occasions to come up in the show where he can make those kinds of jokes. Which is probably a smart way to do it. I don't know. I've never had a television show, and I hope never to get into that business. Well, that's not true. Netflix is the way to go right now instead of movies. Everybody watches Netflix. Maybe I need to look towards adapting my novels into Netflix series. I'm going to go up and gather all this later. This is good land to build on because it's mostly worthless gravel. I don't mean to hurt its feelings. I mean, I know it's right here. It can hear me, but it is pretty worthless. This is going to drive me crazy. I have to destroy this. How do I do this? What have I done? What have I done? Let me try something. I just want it so you can't see the dirt from this other side. That'll do it. Too bad it can't be this. You can't combine this and this unless they're exactly correctly aligned vertically. It drives me nuts. Yeah, it drives me nuts. None of nuts were drivable. Yeah, megadomes eat up a fucking shitload of resources. You're looking at like a 6-episode build. I just gotta warn you, this is gonna fucking take up a lot of episodes. This was the single most time-consuming thing. Imagine how many episodes it would be to build another megadome. And the megadome doesn't even do anything. Its sole purpose is to give like a simulation of the surface world so it doesn't suck so much to be stuck underwater all the time. Now that you're stuck, it's just when you live down here, you become kind of a homebody, and you'll get stir crazy if you don't have a way to simulate the surface world. I believe I have enough of the full blocks to complete the rim. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think I lost a block. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Gonna grab that block. Oh wow, look at all the garbage up here. I'm such a good steward of the environment. This is such a secret base. Who could ever guess that I was down there? Although underwater bases are not really good for secret bases because the water's transparent, so you can see it. It lights up like a Christmas tree. If the water was opaque in this game, it would make more sense and make underwater bases more tactically useful. You can't even if you build them without windows, because of the distance fog, you can still see the outline of man-made structures. There it is. Yay! My first megadome is, or not megadome, but full-size dome for trees is going to be constructed. And usually I also build a full-size dome for the garden, even though I don't really need it, just to grow an abundance of different kinds of food. And also, I like to have more space than necessary so I don't get cabin fever. I'm gonna have to destroy a lot of those blocks. Wish I had an enchanted pick. I wish I had an enchanted prick. Why not both? Live as few men dare dream. They're basically the same thing. I go around slapping rocks with my dick all the time. Not to break them. Just because sometimes rocks are shapely and they look like boobs. And I've been on my bicycle all day and it rubs against my junk just the right way while I'm pedaling. Who am I kidding? I don't pedal. It's shocking I'm not a fat ass, considering I've avoided every type of exercise my entire life, except for lifting weights. That's pretty much solely because it's the most efficient way to keep your weight down. Because if you have a lot of muscle mass, that muscle mass consumes calories just sitting there doing nothing. Uh-oh. I'm going to need another air shelter out here pretty soon. Just in order to be able to get back to safety and not drown. Okay, I'm going to build an air shelter out there as soon as I finish filling in the rest of this with half blocks. I keep calling them half slabs, but they are slabs. A slab is a half block, right? It's going to be weird having a little bit of water under the structure, but I guess that's better than building directly into the ground because then you're tempted to burrow. And I don't want to build a half underwater, half underground base. Like, if I wanted to build an underground base, I'd build a fully underground base and go all the way with it and make it, like, really deep. What the fuck is going on with this one? It looks like I've started to break it. But the texture is frozen. I'm looking forward to... A lot of the games I'm looking forward to, nobody else has heard of, which is a shame. I'm looking forward to Albino Lullaby Part 2, which is looking kind of weird. I mean, I don't mean in the good weird way. I mean, like, the first game, all the bad guys were these lumpy potato creatures because they couldn't afford to do skeletal animations. But now that they can, they have retconned them as being fully humanoid. When I think it was actually an interesting and cool design choice to have them be like that. But I guess having the monsters be the same in two games would get boring. I have a fan on, like, right by my head, so I have no idea if this is going to be tolerable or if when I go to render the video it's going to be a loud whirring noise. If so, don't bother complaining. I'll find out about it and I'll take steps. Although I don't know how I can fucking tolerate this mask on my face in this hot weather without a fan on me. Otherwise it gets all sweaty and sticky. And erotic. Man, sweat fetishes are gross. Having seen a lot of shit on DeviantArt, like seeing muscle women and shit like that just covered in sweat. It sounds hot. It's not. It really isn't. It's a disappointment to my dick. Let's see what's in here. Okay. That ate up all my coal. Just that. Just that. Really? It's a baby one. He came right up through the moon pool. I can't hit him. Those ones are vicious too. Hopefully he can't figure out how to get over here. Uh-oh. I have to have them ready next time. There he is again. Really, I don't want you here. See, I'm pointing right at him. But it's not working. I had to kill children. I don't feel good about that. I feel a little good about it. I'm going to do a little bit more filling in and then call it quits for today. Makes my life easier that I can get food so easily. Because I used to have to establish a potato farm as a prerequisite to even staying underwater longer than a couple days, just to have a replenishing food source. Or I'd have to go to land and kill animals and then cook their meat, which is it kind of makes a mockery of living underwater if you have to constantly go to land for food. Isn't the whole idea of living underwater to get the resources you need to live from the ocean? No zombies, please. No zombies. Go away, zombies. I don't need you right now. Know when you're not wanted. No means no, unless it's bondage, and then it means yes until you hear the safe word. The safe word means no. My safe word is marshmallows. I feel like Christopher Columbus, settling the new world and murdering everything I find there that's not a Spaniard. I'm not even getting the entire platform done. Not even with dirt. This fucking first episode. This should give you an idea of what you're in for. If you really want to watch this whole process, more power to you, but I don't know why. Like, if I was you, if I were you, I would skip forward a couple episodes until the dome is at least being cleared out with dirt. That's why I couldn't work in marketing. I couldn't bullshit people for my own gain. I'd be like, straight up, don't eat at McDonald's. This shit is ass cancer. Uh-oh. I didn't build the thing on this side. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits. It's been a couple minutes overtime. Let's see what we've done so far. This is going to be a huge fucking dome. It's going to be a relief to finally have a large space to run around in underwater. And there's a big hill over there. I can demolish that and expand that way. I can also still expand this way with a hallway. And really, most of the area is over there. So I'm going to have to build like a juncture and then a hallway going that way. But for now, this is enough. This is satisfactory. If you don't feel that it is, then I invite you to have a good long cry about it. Cry some salty bitch tears and then drink them.